She be quick to pick the phone up and tell me, Poppy, come through. I got that type of dick that make her stand up through the sunroof. She a single mommy,
what's
but
good,
with me,
what's
she
good?
say
You
I love
already
you.
know it's
So
me,
twice
your
a
boy,
week I
Bakerboy,
beat
the
chicks and
greatest
chop it
photographer
up
that
like
you know.
You already know who I am, man. The greatest rapper under 30 years old. It's your boy, Cicero. How's everybody doing, man?
And we back with another M&O hot topic, and we're gonna look forward to next season, and keep it with the sports theme. And I want to ask Cicero, what do you think about the chances of the Miami Heat making it back to the big championship game? And what do you think about the Lakers making it back
For next season or for the future?
next season? Even and consider the fact that we don't know exactly when basketball is going to start, and the Lakers have just played the longest NBA season.
Yeah,
and
the
Heat
Miami too,
along
yeah.
with it have just played the longest NBA season in NBA history.
Yeah.
So how do you think that affects them going back
I
into
think
next year?
and it's going to come across as really, really biased, even though it's not. But actually, I think Miami has a slightly better chance of going back. Even though, and I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to go back this year. I think we're going to go back the following season when we make a run at Giannis. I think that's when we will go back and we'll probably win them. The reason I think the Lakers' chances are going to diminish just a little bit, not saying that they don't have a chance to make it, but I think the Clippers now with Ty Lue as their coach now, I think that's a personality change that they needed. And I think that's going to be good for them coming back, especially now that team knows they need to be in the bubble in order to win, or in that kind of environment. I'm not sleeping on a team like Golden State that's going to come back very healthy next year.
That's my sleeper.
Yeah. It's crazy. You know what's crazy? It is so crazy to call Steph and Clay sleepers, man. But they are. They are sleepers this year.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to come back to them.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that Steph and Clay, who just were in the finals last season, are sleepers this year, but they are. I'm not sleeping on a team like the Warriors. I'm not sleeping on a team like the Clippers. I think the Nuggets are going to get better, right? Obviously, the Lakers can still power through all of those teams, but I don't think they're going to go 4-1 all the way like they did this year. I think they're going to have a much tougher time. I think it's going to require more energy. I think a team like Miami, a year more of experience for those young guys, are going to get better. Now everybody knows that Miami has a guy in Jimmy Butler who can basically win you 2 games against anybody in the NBA by himself pretty much, because that's what he did, right? And they're in a position where they can still make some moves. LA's not really in a position where they can make some moves because they kind of got everybody locked up on contracts unless they want to let people walk. Miami has a couple pieces they can trade to maybe go get somebody like a Victor Oladipo or to go get somebody like a Vucevic.
And that's what I hate.
What?
I hate that mentality.
What?
But I know that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It depends what pieces you move, right? So there's obviously pieces on the Miami Heat roster that are untouchable, right? Obviously Bam is untouchable. Obviously Tyler Hero is untouchable. Obviously you can't have Duncan Robinson, right? But there's other pieces you can move, right? You can move a Kendrick Nunn. You can move Jay Crowder. Even though those are guys we would like to keep, if it means getting somebody like a Victor Oladipo, who would be a great guard up front with Dragic and Jimmy, or maybe if it means going to get somebody like Vucevic from Orlando, who's a very slept-on big man. He's like a walking 20 and 10. He would be great for Bam down low because he would take pressure off of Bam. Like, there's moves Miami can make that'll get them back. And I think it seemed like Milwaukee's just mentally out of it, right? I think Miami has shown that they can beat Boston in a 7-game series. And aside from that, the only other the only other team that I think can knock us off is Brooklyn. And Brooklyn's going to be coming back on a year where they have no chemistry. KD's coming back from an Achilles injury, so we don't know how that's going to work. And they have a first-year coach in Steve Nash. So that's kind of you're kind of just banking on their talent at that point. You know what I'm saying? I think constructively Miami in the East has the best chance to go back.
Now, that's why I was over here laughing.
Yeah.
Because in the same sentence you just ended with, you feel like Miami Heat can win it.
Yeah.
But you also said that they need other pieces, and I disagree. I love the team.
I think they need one more piece to beat whoever comes out the West. To get through the East, we have a good enough team to get through the East. But if we run into a Lakers or a Clippers team, I think we need one more piece.
Tyler Hero with another full year of maturity.
There's a couple things listen, I love Tyler.
I'm just looking at what I've seen so far.
But there's a couple things I would love to see from Tyler, though.
But I believe we're going to see them.
I don't know if we're going to see it this year, though. I think it's too fast. Let me tell you why.
Right.
I think he needs to put on a little bit of weight.
Yes,
right?
Which I feel is coming.
Right, and by the way, he was 19, he's going on 20, so that's going to come, right?
Exactly.
I think he needs to improve defensively.
I believe that's coming.
And I think offensively, I think he needs to get a little bit better on scoring with pressure being on him, like with the defender all up in him. Because he got a lot of buckets this year kind of coming off of a screen or an open shot, stuff like that.
Everything that you say, I
but
agree
he's there, though. You know what I'm saying?
He's
there, though.
He's at the right team.
Yeah, perfect team for him.
I feel like him. What's my other boy who be shooting the threes?
Duncan Robinson.
Duncan Robinson needs to get more physical. He needs to get stronger as well.
And better defensively.
This playoff showed them that, though.
Yeah.
If they would have lost, let's say they would have lost in the first round, didn't make it, they wouldn't have got to see this about themselves.
Yeah.
I think going this far, and this was like the biggest learning experience that they could have had. I don't change nothing because of the simple fact that you went into this championship not being 100%.
Right.
And you played very well. Dragic, your leading scorer,
Dragic balled out.
Didn't even get a chance to play
in the finals.
So think about that for a minute. Bam was not 100% in this whole finals because he got hurt in the Boston series. If they were 100%,
they could have had a win. They might have won.
Add a full year of experience to that roster.
Right.
Spo, even if Oladipo, I love Oladipo. They play so good together. I don't want to change.
I'll put it to you this way: I don't want them to make changes,
but they are.
They probably are.
I know they're gonna do it. They always do it.
I know that's how it works in the NBA.
That's how it works.
I don't think they should. I don't think Miami should make any changes.
That team is good.
There's only one change I would like to see us make, though, roster-wise. I think we need one big man.
I agree.
Because I think
he needs to be athletic. And I mean like McGee.
That's why I was saying I would love if Miami could go target Vucevic out of Orlando. Vucevic is a walk-in 20 and 10. Obviously, he's not as athletic as Bam.
I think he's going to ask for big money.
No, I think we would have to trade for him. I don't think he's or maybe he's a free. I'm not sure.
He might be, but
if we can get him without digging into the cap for Giannis, I would go for him.
I don't want Giannis.
I would love. Definitely.
All he does is hold the ball. He doesn't play the Lakers. The Heat way. He holds the ball too long and does a lot of one-on-one.
Here's where Giannis I think would benefit the way we play. He doesn't shoot, right? And he's probably never going to be a good shooter, right? He plays great defense. He's just won Defensive Player of the Year. Okay, he's not scared to be physical. You watch him play, and he looks like the kind of guy that would love this kind of culture. Okay,
but you got to give up so much for him.
No, I'm saying next year when he's a free agent, we'll go after him as a free agent.
If we go after him as a free agent, you think we're gonna be able to keep everybody else?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to keep everybody that's important. I think, and when I mean important, I mean like our core 6 or 7 guys. We'll probably lose out on like Iggy or Jay Crowder or like.
I like Jay Crowder. I just need him to hit a few more shots.
Or like Kelly Olynyk, but like we can.
Olynyk can go.
Yeah,
I'll get rid of Olynyk.
Here, you know who I actually think on the Heat roster needs to make the biggest change, or needs to have the biggest jump in their game if we want to go back to the finals.
Yeah,
I think it's Bam.
But I think Bam will get that because I think Bam actually grew throughout this playoffs.
Oh my God, of course he did. But there's more room for him to grow.
Yeah.
And let me where I think he needs to grow, he needs to gain confidence in that outside jumper.
Which he knows he has. He just doesn't shoot it.
He knows he can shoot it. And I know that Spoelstra doesn't tell him to not shoot it. I know Spoelstra gives him the green light to shoot it if he wants it.
But sometimes the offense looks so robotic that it looks like they tell him not to shoot it. I promise you, it looks like it sometimes.
Bam had
the screen saying, shoot the ball.
I wish I could put together like a 10 or a 15-minute montage of all of the times Bam got the ball off of the screen and was waiting for somebody to come pick it up, and his defender backed up and he never even looked to shoot it.
Didn't even look to score.
And not from 3. He's like 14, 16 feet away. He can make those.
But you know who started doing that too when they got to the Heat? Chris Bosh. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
All of a sudden, Chris Bosh got to where he got to this robotic pass mode.
Yeah.
And he would be ready to pass when the dude wasn't even open yet.
Chris, and all due respect to Chris, he's a Heat legend, Hall of Famer. He was not as athletic as Bam is. Bam has so much more potential to his game than Chris did.
Nah, I think Chris got stagnant coming to the Heat. If you go to Chris Bosh in Toronto, MVP Chris,
but
who it was his team.
Yeah, but
when you go to a coach, coaches change players, and to prove that, look at a player like Ron Artest. Now, see, you probably saw Ron Artest more at the end of his career. Ron Artest,
watch him play in Indiana, he was dropping 20 a game.
He was handling the ball, doing all this. All of a sudden, you get to be a defensive-minded player, and you dribble like this now. I don't understand where this comes from when you dribble with the ball in front of you. But all of a sudden, now, I think players like that, depending on the coach, it just changes them. Because if he stayed playing that way aggressively,
well, that's going to happen playing with Bron and Wade, though. When you're Bosh, that's what's going to happen playing with Bron and
Bam
Wade.
cannot sit around and just let Butler and everybody else be that. They have to come to a middle ground to where everybody understands their role, and we're not waiting around, because I feel like a lot of times Bam is waiting around for somebody else to do something because he's too good to come off a screen and just stand there with the ball. It makes no sense to me. But it looks robotic. It looks like...
And another thing I would love to see Bam improve on is I would love to see Bam improve at finishing around the rim. Yeah. Or being more aggressive around the rim. Like, there was a lot of moments where Bam should have gone up and flushed it on somebody, and he went up for a layup and kind of missed it or got blocked.
I saw that, and I think a lot of that had to do with fatigue as well. Because I noticed that, especially deeper in the playoffs, he even missed the dunk, if you remember in the finals.
Yeah, I remember he missed the dunk.
Wide open at the rim.
Open,
and that's nothing but fatigue.
But I think that was the shoulder. I don't think that was him being tired.
Part of it, but he didn't get enough bounce like he was getting when he was in the early rounds of the playoffs. And I think he was beat up. I really think he was beat up by as the playoffs went. So, we're going to see. We want to know what you guys think about
that boy Jimmy Butler, a dog, though. Jesus Christ. Jimmy Butler put on a show in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, he did.
Sheesh.
But he have a few games where you see Jimmy shoot the ball, and he does the same thing certain games. That's why I say with Spoelstra's offense, sometimes they kind of think too much.
No, but I think with and I think Butler even admitted it too, where he was doing that on purpose to kind of prove to the media and to prove to other people that he doesn't have to do everything alone.
Yeah, but you got to play the game.
But there are certain moments where I would have liked to see him take over. But regardless, I mean, Jesus Christ, he even surprised me. I'll be honest with you. I didn't even know he was going to do that, man.
But he can do that. He just, for some reason, his question has always been up here with all of his past teams. That's why he was brought here as a superstar player. That's why he's always been at the bottom of that conversation, even when he was with Chicago. But he just had a mentality where he never got along with coaches. And Spoelstra is the right coach for that. The Heat coach is perfect for that. But, he has to turn into that next level star now, and we're going to see. So
I think he will.
Let us all know what you guys think about the Heat chances for next year, the Lakers as well, because
and anybody else, man.
LeBron ain't gonna just give it away that easily. So me and Cicero will be back with another M&O hot topic.
But I only move a night or a pawn if it feels righteous. In a booth from night to dawn, I'm still priceless. They know tonight I'm the dawn, they still silent. Now we make deposits that make the balance enticing. All because when I grab a mic, I turn into Tyson.